watching Shane Dawson and Friends, where the excitement never ends. So open your ears, sit down and relax. Or Shane will bust a fucking cap in your ass.
Oh my God, you guys.
Do you think we'll ever get to the point where you're going to play that off of your phone?
No, because we keeps it real up in here.
Well,
okay?
it keeps it real. We got your ghetto buster phone.
Listen, I'm not turning into Kris Kardashian. You know what I'm saying? Like her talk show.
You guys kind of have the same hair.
We do kind of have the same haircut. Whatever. You have the same Botox, so leave me alone.
You know what? Yes, I do.
We'll talk about Kris Kardashian's
Wait,
talk show
everybody,
in a minute.
hi, we're back.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, you guys.
No, we'll talk about Kris in a minute because I have a whole tangent to go on.
It's Shane
about
and
that.
Lauren.
They know who it is.
Well, I mean, we might have some new listeners.
Oh, hey, new listeners.
Hey.
You're going to be instantly clicking off once I start talking. So goodbye. No. Today is a very exciting show.
I'm really excited.
I literally shit my pants 5 times in the car.
That's a normal day for you.
Tara Reid, you guys.
Tara Reid.
Who is terrific, not terrible.
You know where she lives? Paradise.
Fuck. It's gonna be lots of Tara puns today. No, so we found out. Well, I was like, oh my God, Tara Reid is in Sharknado. We have to get her because I'm obsessed with Tara Reid.
And then,
little known fact, you guys don't know this. I'm obsessed with Tara Reid. I fucking love her.
And this is the craziest thing. I then asked the people that you asked to get Tara Reid, and they said yes.
They said yes, guys.
And literally, Shane was like, no, like by the way, she still could cancel. There's still a few minutes left.
There's time.
But like so far, I've confirmed like 10 times. And
she's retweeted me. She's been tweeting about it.
She tweeted you nonstop.
Guys, I'm excited because we'll talk about this later, but she's been in so many of my favorite movies. Josie and the Pussycats, Urban Legend. I mean, list goes on. But yes, she's coming up on the show. But first, I need to talk about something a little bit more important.
Oh no, what happened?
I had my first physical.
Yeah, I don't. That was an interesting thing when you went to the doctor. I was shocked.
Well, Lisa was like, "Hey, if you don't go to the doctor, I'm going to break up with you because I don't want you to die, and then I have to like plan the funeral and like do all that boring stuff and make sure your makeup looks good."
I was going to make a really, really terrible Corey Monteith, Leah Michelle joke that was so inappropriate, and I'm not going to do that.
Well, okay, then really quickly, so we don't make you look like a terrible person.
Yes.
Let's just take a moment to talk about that before I get into my physical.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Which is sadder than the Corey story.
Uh-huh.
So Corey from Glee died, and that is
true.
Listen, it's the saddest thing ever when somebody dies, especially somebody young,
Mm-hmm.
and it's really sad when it's drug related. I think people assume that like, oh, Hollywood, everybody's just doing drugs, and well, I guess that is what it is. But it also is kind of an illness, being addicted to drugs. It's not just like, oh, just stop doing drugs and just like go get a Frappuccino. Like, it's not that easy.
I mean, I have no experience in the matter, and I have no authority to speak.
You've never
on
done
it.
heroin?
Well, I mean, no. I've done heroin.
You looked really skinny at your wedding.
Oh my God, thank
Only heroin.
you. Yeah,
Let's stop talking about heroin.
It's not terrible. We're gonna move on because we don't have any authority.
We're gonna move on, but I just want to say that
we are very upset about it.
it's very sad, and all my prayers and wishes go to his family. And
don't do drugs, you guys. It's real. It's not good.
and you know Leah Michelle.
I mean, not well.
Just pretend like you're her friend.
I did. I actually have a poster of her in my apartment, and this isn't going to sound creepier than it is, but I worked in Broadway producing 100 years ago, and she was in a show called Fiddler on the Roof. It was when she was like 14 years old, and I was a producer on that show, sort of, kind of, and
so you're kind of her best friend.
So we're best friends. So I knew her actually when she was like 14. I really did.
Wow. Well, that's really sad.
She won't remember me at all.
No, not at
like
all.
not even a little bit.
She's dealing with some stuff, so don't blame her.
Yeah.
So yes, I feel really
Regardless,
terrible.
she wouldn't have remembered me. I'm just saying.
Now on to something to lighten the mood a little bit, / make you more depressed. My first physical. Now, guys, I'm 25 years old, and I've never been to the doctors. I've been to the doctors, but I've never like had a doctor check me out.
And they were like, yikes.
It went as I expected, which was the doctor ran out of the room screaming, I've never seen this before.
In all of my years.
In all my years. So basically, first of all, she puts me in this robe, and she's like, oh, here, keep your underwear on. Of course, in my head, I'm like, wait, I have to get naked and keep my underwear on, which is even more embarrassing because my underwear have holes all over the place.
Everybody knows when you go to the doctor, you get like a nice new pair of underwear. Everybody knows that.
I haven't been to the doctor.
Oh my God, that's so embarrassing.
So I'm wearing these holy underwear where my balls are hanging out because I have a hole that's
Haven't you ever heard the expression like when you leave the house, you always wear clear underwear because God forbid you get in an accident?
Do I look like I've heard that expression?
And then the ambulance has to see your nasty, streaky, poopy underwear. Oh,
mine weren't even poopy. There's a hole where the butt is. It looks like chaps. So I'm sitting there in my chaps, my butt cheek list chaps, and I'm waiting for the doctor. And while I'm in the room, I notice I hear a rainforest, and I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" She has a machine on that is like supposed to be soothing. You know what's not soothing? Being naked in chaps, waiting for a doctor to touch your dick, and hearing monkeys
Were you like
hooting and hollering.
Was like sweat dripping out? Like,
I was sweating so hard. I felt like I was waiting to get raped in a rainforest. It was horrible. She came in, she laid me down. She did one of those things where like, I think she knew it was my first time, so she wanted to go slow, and she was kind of nervous to bring up the fact that she was going to be giving me a hand job, basically. So she's like, "Okay, lay down. I'm going to start at your legs." Which, by the way, during physicals, they don't touch your leg, do they? No, they don't. So, trust me, I've seen lots of physicals on YouTube. So don't ask. So that
in
she
preparation for this appointment, or just in general?
She rubs my leg and she goes, "Okay, no cancer lumps." Like, by the way, I don't think you get those in your legs. Anyways, so then she's like, "Okay, now we're gonna do your thighs," and she like touches my thighs a little bit, and I'm like, "Bitch, just get to it. I know where you're going." And then she goes, so this next part, if you would just drop your underwear. Actually, you know what? It's fine. You don't need to drop your underwear. There's a hole there. Which was convenient. So she just slipped her hand in my hole and felt around and squeezed my testicles very hard. And I squealed. And then she goes, "It's okay. It's normal to squeal on your first time." And then she goes, "Oh, now I just have to touch your penis." And it took her a good 30 seconds to find it.
Sure.
In the midst of my, speaking of rainforest, in the midst of my pubic region, which looks like a rainforest.
So disgusting.
But King Kong is not in there, guys. It's not.
You know who like doesn't feel bad for you at all? Any girl that's been to the gynecologist.
You know what? Fuck you.
Do you know what?
It was a hard experience.
Any girl that's been, I mean, do you know what it's like when you're lying there and you've got like a giant hand, not in a pleasurable way, like up your thing? I mean, it is like, it's not even like I'm not afraid of the doctor. I'm not one of those people. Like, I will go. Like, if anything, I think whatever. It's just the most unpleasant experience. It is just, it's like a cold plastic glove up. Like, it's awful.
That sounds amazing. No, that sounds terrible. Speaking of disgusting and cold and plastic, it's Farrah Abraham time. God made a mistake. That's her theme song. Yeah. So everybody has been requesting more Farrah Abraham news.
Yeah, as they should.
And the biggest story was that she got kicked out of rehab. For, they wouldn't say, but I'm assuming it's because she didn't need to be there.
Did she really? I didn't read that.
Yeah, she got kicked out of rehab. And then she did a story in OK Magazine called #I've Changed. The story of my rehab experience. And she talked about how going to rehab really helped her figure out what's wrong with her and how she's not going to sell out anymore and she's not going to be a slut and she's going to be a great mom. And then the next day she applied to be in Playboy.
You don't, there's not like an application. Is there an application?
Yeah, it's like McDonald's. You type like, "What are you willing to do?"
I think she got rejected by Playboy.
She did.
I read that.
And then she's like, #I've changed again. She said it was a sign from God. Like, oh, Playboy rejecting me was a sign from God that I really need to get out of this business.
You know what? I think she's right, and she should listen to God, and she should go far, far away.
You know what a sign from God for her was? Having a child, because you would think that would make somebody stop being a gross, nasty whore, and it did not work.
I think it made her more of one.
I know. How weird. I hope you don't have a child. You're already a gross, nasty whore.
Thank you so much. I'm looking at my child right now.
All right. I mean, are you going to do your Uggs of the day?
I'm ready. You're yakking away over there.
I know. Well, I have so much to talk about, but I don't want to. I'm hoping one of your Uggs is Amanda Bynes because I have something to say.
Like it's not going to be. Okay. I mean, I suppose, do we have to start with that then?
Please.
Ready? Wait, hold on. He's sipping some water. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Of the day.
Of the day. So I was a little nervous this morning because that the Amanda Bynes fund might be stopped because, as everybody might know, she's on like psychiatric hold at a hospital and her parents are intervening, and I was like, oh no, I think I might have stopped. Then I waited an hour.
Great.
And it didn't stop. So basically, they're trying to do that thing that like Britney Spears' parents did to her, which by the way, P.S. has worked for all intents and purposes. She's on massive meds and she's like kept herself together. And so her parents are trying to like have a conservative, and they believe that she's a substance abuser and she's become a paranoid, delusional schizophrenic. She's draining her bank account. Which, by the way, has been drained since she's the man. No, she said, the parents say that she had $4 million in the bank and that she's blown $1.2 million like in the last month.
On wigs?
I don't know.
Girl, I could show you where to get some cheap wigs.
Girl, it's like, honestly, you really. And that she's she spends all her money like on pot basically. And that her parents say that she doesn't connect with reality, and that she told them that she cabbed it from New York to LA, and the parents believe that she's homeless. It's so bad.
Oh my God.
And she, of course, this is all stemming from the fact that she lit a driveway on fire.
By the way, not only did she light a driveway on fire, she lit a stranger that she didn't know.
Didn't even know.
An old woman.
She was like inside, like watching Big Brother or something. This lady, I swear to God, I read. She walked out. She's like, "What's going on?"
It could have been me. I was inside watching Big Brother.
She, by the way, totally had your haircut.
I know.
She had like a bowl haircut. You know what I'm talking about? But also, Amanda was like carrying her dog that was like doused in gasoline. I mean, it's like horrible.
I mean, it's honestly really sad because I've known all along she's had schizophrenia. I kind of hoped it wasn't.
How did you know?
Because I know, like, I have family members with it. Like, I know what it is. So all along I knew, but I was like, I hope it isn't, so I can keep making fun of her.
It's just weird. Like her schizophrenia, they're like, she talks about how there's good Amanda and bad Amanda, and apparently, so she's been locked up, and she went for like 8 hours being totally normal and lucid, and then she started going in crazy for like an hour and like saying she was possessed, and like her eyes were rolling back in her head, and she was going crazy. I mean, it's like.
By the way, it's scarier than The Conjuring.
Oh, I didn't see that. Is that...
Everybody said it was the scariest movie ever, and I went in expecting that, and I wasn't scared at all.
Yeah, but
nothing scares me. Except for Tara Reid, because I'm nervous. What if I make a bad impression? What if she doesn't want to be my wife? my husband.
My husband. Freudian slip. Okay, next. Are we done with Amanda?
Yeah, one more ugh.
Just one more? Oh, God. Okay.
Pick a good one.
Well, I think this is amazing. 10 black former American Idol contestants from various seasons are filing a lawsuit against the show, claiming they were unjustly booted from the show because of their race, and they each want $25 million minimum. And the best part is that one of them is that guy Corey. Do you remember him from like a few years ago? And he like accused Paula Abdul of like trying to hook up with her, and he was like disgusting. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" It's amazing.
By the way, he wasn't even black.
And there's one on there that is for shizzle, like maybe a quarter black. Like,
wow. Like, you got real. This story has made you black. Are you gonna get 25 million?
I'm hoping.
Here's the thing, guys. If you don't make it on American Idol, it's because you suck, or because America doesn't care about you. And if America doesn't care about black people, that's America's fault, not American Idol's fault.
By the way, they did the math, and like I think there's the percentage is like there's 13.1% black people in America, and American Idol has had like twice that many black people on the show. So by definition, they're not racist.
By the way, Ruben Studdard, who was terrible, won American Idol, and he's black.
By the way, that velvet teddy bear.
Shut the fuck up. Clay Aiken is my everything. Fantasia Barrino won American Idol. She's blacker than Ruben.
She is hurt. I mean, yeah.
Are you kidding me? There's been so many black idols.
I agree. It's crazy.
Ridiculous.
The only other, it's not a big long ugh. My only last one, really quickly. Do we want to talk about how Bieber spit on his fans out of a hotel balcony in Toronto?
I'm done talking about Bieber.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you were too good for Bieber.
I'm done. Listen, Bieber, get your shit together. Get your fucking shit together. You're rich. You're talented. You're successful. You have a bunch of fans. Stop spitting on them. Come on. I've never spit. Although I did swap gum with a fan one time.
You spit in your dog's mouth.
That's different.
They just literally.
That's different. My dogs aren't fans. They hate me.
Your mom thinks like I don't like your dogs. It's not that I don't like your dogs. It's that you spit in their mouths, and it's so disgusting that I can't like be near them because like you spit in their mouths because you think it makes them closer to you. You have this whole theory about it.
It's intimate.
It's so disgusting.
When I spit into my dog's mouth and they taste me, they know that I'm a part of it. This is a part of me. Just spit into my mouth. Okay, so
that's my odds. That's what I got.
Those are great.
Thank you.
They all made me ugh equally as much.
They were pretty bad.
Now, guys, as we do every show, we're going to tell you who's on the show and who said no to the show.
Okay.
Today, obviously, we already talked about it. Tara Reid. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Is on the show. And Jake T. Austin from Wizards of Waverly Place had said no.
It's true. It's true. We got an eggs on that one.
Why do you think he said no?
I mean, why would he say yes?
Let's ask Tara why she said yes.
No, you know who I want to ask? Paris Hilton. Excuse me.
Did she say no?
Paris. Isn't Paris in the room?
Oh, you mean my... Oh, gotcha.
Oh, you mean me?
I mean, welcome to the program, Paris.
Oh, hi.
I
heard you guys talking about heroin earlier, and I got really excited.
I know. Were you in the bathroom? Is that why you didn't hear me at first?
I was doing heroin.
That's what I figured.
And when I heard heroin, I thought it was bad Paris in my head telling me to do it. But it was just you guys in the other room talking about it.
It was just us. I've missed you.
I've been hanging out with Amanda Bynes, lighting old people's garages on fire. But I've been only targeting old people with Shane's haircut.
Totally. You've done very well. You really singled her out, that lady.
Yeah, it's been fun. But what was the question?
Oh, as the question was, well, you know what? I guess who do you think we should have on the show? Like, Shane was just talking about who said no.
Like, who you should have that would actually say yes?
Yeah, I guess I would probably.
Well, there was a guy outside who was peeing in a bush, and he's homeless, so he would probably do it for some free water. And maybe, who else? I saw a guy jerking off in a Taco Bell drive-thru, and he would probably do it for a free water.
Do you know that one time, Paris, I was on a subway in New York City. This is a true story, and I was sitting with my friend.
You shoved a Subway sandwich inside of you?
It's true.
I've been on a Chipotle. Extra beefy. Sorry, continue.
Anyway, and the man was a Mexican man, and he had his hand in his pants and his zipper down, and he was just holding...
He would be on the show.
His dick. That's what reminded me of it. He was holding his dick and just pointing it in my friend's direction. Like, it wasn't even erect. He was just pointing
To
it.
his defense, I have played with penises like puppets. When they're always erect around me. But sometimes they're not erect because, the guy's gay or whatever. But no, I play with it, and like the hole kind of looks like a mouth, and then you can point it and be like, I'm a penis. Oh my God. All of me and all of my friends know Paris Hilton. It's really fun. You should try to play with your penis once in a while.
I should.
I can see it right now. Puppet wants to play.
On that note, guys, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, it's going to be us and Sarah Reid. See you guys in a minute.
Okay.
All right, you guys, we are back.
We're back.
And I'm fangirling. I literally just took 3 diarrheas in the bathroom because I'm so excited. Tara Reid is here.
Yay!
Oh my God. First of all, why did you say yes?
Because there's so many fans and you're so funny. I mean, it's great.
You're the nicest person in the world.
Oh God, he's gonna kiss your ass so hard.
I'm already up your ass. I'm so far up there. I saw what you had for breakfast this morning, which looked delicious, by the way. Listen, let me really quickly, if anybody out there has been living under a rock and doesn't know who Tara Reid is, she has been in pretty much every single one of my favorite things.
He's not lying.
Including, first of all, a couple things I didn't know you were in. Saved by the Bell, the new class?
Yeah.
You were in that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll get to that. California Dreams, which, oh my God. California Dreams, don't wake me up if I'm dreaming. Anyways, Urban Legend, my favorite movie as a child, horror movie. American Pie, all the American Pie movies. Josie and the Pussycats.
He literally can't. I
love that movie.
It's gonna take a lot for him just not to focus on Josie and the Pussycats.
That was the first movie, because I had it on VHS. That's the first movie I went out when the DVD players came out. Children, DVD players weren't always around, just letting you know. And I went to Target and I'm like, I want this to be my first DVD.
Oh my God, it's great. That's so sweet.
And it had commentary on it, and I think you were on there.
Yeah,
that was
of course.
Very exciting.
That was actually one of my favorite roles, was Melody. She was such a fun character to play. She's always happy. She was a little bit of an airhead, but she was kind of psychic. It was great.
It was like the original Mean Girls, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Better than Mean Girls.
Totally. Fuck those guys, right?
Totes. Okay, and then obviously the big one right now that everybody's talking about, Sharknado.
I mean, what? Come on. Did you know?
No, I didn't even think anyone was going to see it. It's the whole concept is outrageous, like sharks in a tornado. I mean, I can't believe how huge it got.
Can we discuss that it's really more of a shark cane as opposed to a sharknado?
It's definitely more of a hurricane.
Yeah, or like a tsunami or something. I mean, it's crazy.
It's not really a tornado, but
Sharknami, Shark Cane didn't really sound like a great movie
excellent
title.
choice of title, but
it's so funny because when they first gave me the script and they said Sharknado, I said, I'm not doing a movie called Sharknado. You have to change the title if I'm going to do this because I don't want to have on my resume Sharknado. So I had it it was supposed to be Dark Skies, that would be better. But now, who knows?
What happened? Were they like, fuck you?
No, then there was a movie that came out called Dark Skies. So they had to go back and use it Sharknado. And I thought, you know what? No one's really going to see it. It's sci-fi. It will just come and go away. And all of a sudden it went viral. It's crazy.
It was like my Facebook blew up. I was like, what is going on? And everybody's like, what is this? This is amazing. People went crazy.
I know. It's today it came out in Australia and it was trending #1 all day in Australia. And then this week it comes out in the UK and people are just going nuts.
Where does it come out when it comes out in those countries? Is it on screens or is it on TV?
In the UK, in Australia it was on Universal Station. In the UK, I think it's the same thing.
But it's TV. It's still
yeah,
there.
it's still TV. Yeah.
I mean, so I think I read this, but is there going to be another Sharknado? Sharknados?
Sharknado 2, starring Tara Reid. No, I don't know. I mean, there's talk of it. There's so many rumors of it, but I can't imagine really where the sharks are going to go next.
Oh my God, Japan.
They always end up in Japan.
They always do.
They do. Or Japan.
Oh my God. I mean, I really hope. Here's the thing, though. I want them to make a sequel, but I also don't want them to make a sequel and be like, oh, what made this good was, making it cheesy. So then they make it cheesier. Like, I think it's perfect just the way it is. And if they make a sequel, do the same thing, just a different location.
Exactly.
Like, don't bring in like a hurricane and like a snowstorm.
More of Ian Ziering, obviously. That's what we definitely.
By the way, I have no idea who that is.
Steve from 90210?
I was watching California Dreams.
I can't. Well, so fun. I was like, because I was fangirling too that you were coming, and I don't even know what that means, fangirling. That's what the kids say these days. But I was like, I feel like
You were fan-womaning.
I was fan-ladying, and I was just like, I feel like I was like naming all the movies that Big Lebowski and all these things, and he's like, what? I've never even. And he's like, just seen the Pussycats, and I was like, so you transcend generations. Is just what I'd say.
How did you get started? I asked on Twitter last night what kids wanted me to ask you, and everybody was like, how do you break into this world?
I did my first movie when I was 6 years old. It was called The Return of Salem's Lot. I played a vampire. So I was really like 300 and something years old, but I got bit at 6. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And are you from here, or are you from?
I'm originally from New Jersey.
What made you at 6 years? I'm always, I work with children a lot. That sounds really creepy.
It is. It's creepy.
So let me check. I film children a lot. No, that's even worse. I make videos with children. Anyways, children are in my life, and they're actors, and they're really young, like 6, and they know that they want to do this. And when I was 6, I didn't even know like what my penis did or how to poop on my own. Like, how do you know you want to be an actor?
I remember watching Drew Barrymore in E.T. And I wanted to do that, And I remember also there was a TV show years ago called Kids Incorporated.
Oh yeah.
I love that. And I wanted to sing and dance and act the scenes out in the mirror, and I just loved it. And then one day, how we got discovered is we were shopping in New Jersey at the mall, and
of course you were.
Of course, that's what we do. And I was
which mall? Freehold? Where were we?
No, in Bergen County. It was called Promise Park.
Of course.
And so I was shopping. It was me and my brother, my mom, and we were in the food court. And me and my brother were kind of like fighting and like making fun of each other. My mom was getting us pizza, and this talent manager happened to walk by, and she said to my mom, "Your daughter has to be, like in commercials."
And that was real?
I swear
happen.
to God, that's how it happened.
That is
I swear
ridiculous.
to God, I swear to you.
That same
from there.
That same thing happened to me when I was 17 in a mall, and a talent agent manager, in quotes, came up to me and said, "You should be in talent." And it turned out to be one of those really shitty, creepy scam schools.
I was going to say
John Los Casablancas acting school.
I went to like those. Like nobody ever came to me. Like I paid them.
You got lucky.
Anyway,
well, it all worked out for you.
Sure, totally.
How was it though dealing with we talked to a lot of internet people because internet fame comes very fast, and it's usually children who get it. Like YouTubers are really young, and it comes out of nowhere. They don't know how to handle it. I can't imagine as a 6-year-old being in a movie. Like, how did you deal with that as a 6-year-old?
I was never really famous till really Big Lebowski, American Pie.
How old were you? Those were like teenage?
Yeah, I was younger. So from that age, even still working, no one noticed me. So I still had a regular life. And then when I started getting famous, it was weird. It was like people everywhere because, movies are universal. They go all around the world.
Yeah.
So you go to these strange countries, to promote and do press, and you don't even know the language, and people are coming up, "Oh my God, Tara Reid," and it's just like the weirdest thing. Sometimes they get so nervous, people they shake her on you. Oh my God. And then you start getting nervous with them. You're like, "No, it's okay, it's okay."
Lauren, stop shaking.
I'm sorry.
I'm quivering.
I'm so quivering.
No, I mean, how, so being, 17 or how old you were with American Pie, that movie was like massive. Everybody in the world saw that movie. I think I was like 12 maybe. I was young. I was too young to see it, but my mom still took me to see it because my mom loved to fuck me up. So we went to, I remember looking at the poster and seeing the hole in the pie, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then my mom leaned over and she's like, "He put his penis inside of it. Don't ever do that."
And then Shane went home and put his penis in anything that would.
I have fucked every food item, object in my house. No, sorry. Back on track. Being that young, being like a teenager, I mean, you look at somebody like Lindsay Lohan, who Actually, I think I even wrote down, I read something. I saw a TMZ video where you were like basically saying Lindsay's a bitch, and I invisible high-fived you from the other side of the computer. But even seeing somebody like Lindsay Lohan just literally spiral in a Sharknado of her own. And because being so young, being so famous, Sharknado, whatever that was, more of a Dina NATO, to be honest. Dina and Michael Nado.
Shark Diva.
How did you keep from spiraling and going insane, or did you spiral and go insane for a while?
I think I spiraled and went a little insane, but not like that. You know, my biggest kind of crazy thing is I like to have fun. So my biggest crime really was, getting drunk or dancing on a table or spraying champagne. I never got in trouble like with the law or never been arrested. So I was kind of like Hollywood's bad girl, but I wasn't really that bad.
No.
So I kind of got this reputation of being this party girl and.
And then Lindsay came by and was like, I'll show you, girl.
It's like she gets all these chances back, and it's like kind of the stigmata with me doesn't really go away. So that's to me kind of one of the hardest things.
Do you think if you would have started your career in the last 5 years as a 17-year-old and you were the same way, partying and whatever, I don't think you would have gotten any shit for it.
I agree with you. I think, times have completely changed. I mean, we didn't have like Rihanna, we didn't have Lady Gaga, we didn't have all these, people that we have now. There wasn't, you had like Tiffany or, it wasn't the same.
Who was great,
but it was completely different.
by the way.
Tiffany, okay, first of all,
or
that was
Debbie
like
Gibson or like
that was way long. I don't know. That,
No,
no,
existed.
I mean, yeah, but not from me. American Pie life.
Isn't it horrible?
Around American Pie time, that was more like, who was that? That was like Britney Spears before she.
It was
fucking
like
went crazy.
and that was like Backstreet Boys and
yeah.
NSYNC and exactly.
Yeah.
And who, by the way, were all probably partying a lot harder than you. Like, are you kidding me? Joy Fatone?
But then the thing is when you're like a rock star, you're allowed to. When you're a boy, you're allowed to.
I know.
As a girl, it's so much more judgmental, and for some reason to have fun and have a good time and drink, they act like you're doing a crime, which is absolutely silly.
Do you think they've laid off you a little bit? I feel like I saw you on that TMZ clip, and I thought it was really cool and funny that you were hosting TMZ, right, for an episode?
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome because for me, it showed that you are kind of getting another chance because, I mean, maybe back when you were 18 and partying, I think those are the people that were talking shit about you, right?
Well, I mean, it's still a stigmata with me. I think they are backing off a little bit, but it just doesn't really go away for some reason. It's people could do bad things over and over again, and it just seems to go away. It's a new subject, a new story. And with me, I never really did anything bad, so it's that they've kind of painted this cartoon picture of me.
Because you're like this hot blonde, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm for real, like, you know what I mean? It's like you're this like hot blonde, and it's like you can't get away. You can't like be successful and party and get away with all that and be like, it doesn't.
That's true.
You're not allowed. Like, what?
But I don't want to like stay home in jail. Like, I like to go
I'm not
out
making an excuse for it. I'm just saying I just feel like it's like, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like if you looked a different way and we're doing the same things, like people wouldn't care.
Absolutely,
You know
I
what I
agree.
mean?
So, like, if Lauren was if you were a
Like,
huge
for example,
partier-
like I've partied and like nobody cares.
nobody gives a fuck.
Like, it's weird.
Well, I think you're lucky nowadays in this new generation because all these kids that were tweeting me about you had known you because they replay your movies all the time, like Josie and American Pie. They all know you from that. And not one of them was like, oh, ask her about her crazy years or her drunk, because they don't fucking know. I think it's a new time.
I kind of agree with you on that. I think it is a new time. And even when I was tweeting in last night and I was watching all the people retweeting and they were so excited. I mean, there was not one bad thing to say. I mean, they were like, this is the best thing ever. This is so cool. I mean, they were so supportive.
And they'll say it if there's something bad to
Girl,
say.
they'll trust me.
But
They'll say it.
I thought it was so cool, and I was like, wow, look at all these young viewers, how awesome they are, and especially your fans. They're so supportive and great, and I think that's great because a lot of people love to hate, and a lot of people love to, put people down and build you up to climb you down. And I feel like this generation just accepts more and has more fun and doesn't judge as much as the past.
They've seen a lot more. I feel
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
So what is a relationship with you and like bloggers like Perez and just Jared? Whatever.
I mean, Perez like forever kills me. And I don't know what it is. I mean, he kills me. And
isn't he supposed to be nice now? I broke up with him years ago. I
I
can't
mean,
handle him.
he said he's not a bully anymore. And the other day I was with my boyfriend in Vegas, and he said that like we were wasted, and this the whole article was.
Which, by the way, I mean, it's Vegas.
But it really wasn't
Who
true.
cares?
Like it was during the day. It really wasn't true at all. And my boyfriend doesn't even drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't do anything. So I was like, you know what? I finally wrote back to him. Enough is enough. Like, you've been picking on me for years, and get to know your facts straight, because this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then everyone wrote about that, you know? So now the last couple articles, he's been kind of nice, because it went viral, like, about me finally sticking up for myself.
Where did you write that? Like, where did you...
I wrote it on Twitter.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Twitter, I just want to let you know, because I'm not sure if you're aware of this. I wasn't aware of this. At Sharknado is actually not the movie's Twitter. It is a random woman who lives in Chicago who paints children's faces for a living. So, so you might want to stop tweeting at Sharknado. I looked this up last night because everybody was tweeting me about Sharknado, and they were tagging it at Sharknado, and I clicked on it to see like, oh, how many followers does Sharknado have? And it was a sad woman, and all her tweets are like, stop tweeting me. I'm not Sharknado. But then part of me is like, why the fuck did you name your Twitter Sharknado?
Yeah, like, where did that come from?
Although maybe...
So it's not at Shark. I didn't even know that. It's not at Sharknado.
No.
So I've been tweeting the wrong things too. Everyone is. Everyone's tweeting the wrong things. So it's a hashtag. I swear I didn't know that.
This sad
I'm sure
woman.
Sharknado they probably have like Sharknado the movie or something like that. Yeah.
I don't know. Like every time someone writes it and I retweet it, I've been going at Sharknado. And even the radio stations, we've been doing like a million a day. They were at Sharknado. So that's probably why the poor lady is getting all these.
It's so funny. I mean, it's really sad, but it's really funny. Her bio says, not the movie. I mean, listen, it's her fault for doing that. Okay, really quickly before we get to the big grand finale, I need to talk to you about Justin Pussycat's More and Urban Legend. Those are two of my favorite movies of all time. First of all, how was it to film Urban Legend? Because you play, I mean, first of all, this is very close to home. You played like a radio jockey, right?
Exactly, yeah.
How was it to die on camera? I've always wanted to do that.
Well, the whole thing is like remember when I get thrown off the balcony? So that was like, that to me, that was really scary because I was in a harness. So,
oh, God.
Yeah, like I really got
do your own stunts.
Yeah, I really got thrown off the balcony. And I'm like, are you sure this is going to catch me? Because it's so high, you know?
Oh, my God.
So in that way, I was terrified. So it was when I had to act scared, I really wasn't, like, I wasn't acting. I was really scared.
Does a harness really hurt your crotch as much as people say it does?
You're not even feeling it because you're so scared that it's going to break. You know, I don't even remember.
That's how I feel on wicker furniture.
Yeah.
Just so scared it's going to break.
Yeah, you're afraid it's going to go through. I've watched so many people do that. Or like people have you ever seen people in a hammock and the hammock falls? That's the worst.
No, I have a legit fear of wicker furniture. So as I said earlier, everybody knows this, I grew up really fat. So I had broken wicker furniture before. So it became a family joke, like, oh, don't sit in the wicker. And then on one of my first dates with my current girlfriend, who I can't believe is still with me, we went back to her place, and she had a wicker chair, and she goes, oh, let's sit in the wicker chair and watch YouTube. And I'm literally
sure
was
she
like,
said it like that. Let's sit in the wicker chair.
I mean, in my head, that's
in
what
his
she
head,
said.
that's what he thought. He was still scared. Wicker chair.
Yeah. So of course,
He's horrified of wicker.
Wicker NATO. No. So I'm just staring at this chair like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. You know what, Shane? You're going to fucking do it. You're going to do it. So I go over and I'm like, yeah, sure. I sit down. The fucking chair broke.
No, it did not.
way.
Not even kidding. And she died laughing so hard because, she thought it was funny because I'm not that fat and I broke a chair.
That's so horrible.
And I was just like, isn't this hilarious? I'm going to go to the bathroom. And I was just like
traumatized.
crying. I was traumatized.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's so horrible.
Did you actually make like the actual wicker or just like the foundation of the chair?
Like
I
broke it.
The whole.
So children, don't sit in wicker furniture. And then last question about Justin the Pussycats. First of all, why didn't they make a second one? Because had just been waiting for it for like 12 years.
Or are they going to?
Second, a reunion. Second of all, okay, how was that experience? And I don't remember the reception of it. I remember seeing it 3 times in theaters and being obsessed with it. And me and my friends had the CD and we knew all the songs. Spin around. I know it all. How was that? How was it filming that? Was it fun?
Well, I mean, that was one of my favorite movies we filmed because it was like, me, Rosario Dawson, Rachel Lee Cook. So it was like 3 girls and we were always joking around, having fun, acting like rock stars. I mean, it was so much fun. We shot it in Canada. And the crazy costumes we got to wear, and like we all had to really learn the instruments. I had to learn how to play the drums, and yeah, and we like filled up the stadium with all these extras, and we like in the movie, my stage comes up when I start playing the drums, and it was just amazing. Like we really got that feeling on the movie.
So fun.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Now, how was it after that? Did people? I remember it being kind of like a big deal, but then I also kind of don't remember that much. But was there ever plan on being a sequel?
No, never plan on being a sequel. It didn't get the what we wanted it to get. You know, it did with little kids, but people didn't get the jokes in it. They didn't get like the red is the new blue and all these like speaking things, underlying, you know, tones that they were saying. People didn't get it.
I think it was kind of. I
think it was ahead of its time.
Totally, and I rewatched it like 2 months ago. I sound like such a fangirl. I rewatched it 2 months ago.
You are, own it.
Thanks. But I was like, this is really fucking smart. And if something like this was made nowadays, I think the reception probably would have been
I agree,
even bigger.
especially with the marketing. You know, like
The
with
One
Coca-Cola.
Direction
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean, all that stuff. It was, you know, it was really ahead of its time. And I think that's why people didn't necessarily get it. But now, when you show it to little kids, they love it.
Love it.
Yeah, I think it was a very smart movie, actually.
It was really, I mean, I loved it.
So wait, we have to talk about you. Why did I think you were married or engaged? Didn't I read something about that?
I've been engaged a couple of times.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Listen, we're
Why
not gonna bring up Carson Daly. We're not gonna do that. That would not. I mean, come on.
By the way, I'm not even a Carson Daly fan. I was more into Damien Fahey.
So true.
You ever go out with him?
No, never not
Oh
TV.
man, he's my hero.
Who have you gone out with that we'd be like totally shocked about? Anybody fun?
Totally shocked about.
Samantha Rumson.
Like, or that we wouldn't know. Like, you're like, you know what? I actually want to date with P. Diddy. I mean, you know what I mean?
No.
What?
I'm just throwing it
Stop
out there.
living out your fantasies.
Sorry.
I guess that, but I think everyone knows it. Maybe the football player Tom Brady.
Oh, I did
Yeah.
forget. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
I
yeah.
don't-
Oh.
Surprise, surprise! I don't watch sports. I'm too busy watching
Giselle's
Josie and the Pussycats.
husband? I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, didn't he
Not
go out
bad.
with? Did he go out with? Was that Jessica Simpson? I don't know.
No.
No, a different football player, but good job.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
But
Very
well
close.
done.
Very close. They
I
were both
tried.
quarterbacks.
Well done.
Yeah, good job.
Well done.
Now,
That's a good one, though.
Now comes for my. Well, should we get to this or should I ask it? Well, quick question. How come you never? I don't know why I wrote this down. I think I wrote it down because we were talking about Farrah Abraham. How come you were smart enough never to do a sex tape? And I'm not talking about like an actual.
She's like, first of all, I have. You've just never seen it.
No,
Just
like
kidding.
because I feel like all these people are like, oh, I'll just like film myself having sex, and then it always goes to
I
the
mean,
whole world.
I think, you know, the start of that was Pamela Anderson, you know, and then Paris Hilton, and then Kim Kardashian. All of them, I mean, made a fortune out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they were in on it, got part of the deal, and, you know, it took them to all heights. But I don't need to go from acting in big movies to doing a sex tape.
Right?
They did that kind of to start their career, and I already had one. But I don't need people to watch me have sex.
No.
Did anyone ever? Oh, girl, draws me out. I feel the same way about Lauren and me. No.
Wait, how did I get dragged into this?
No,
What?
did anybody ever like approach you about
No,
doing
no,
one?
no, never.
Because I feel like that's how it works, right? It's not like a private.
I don't
thing.
know. Like, you know, I think they probably make a deal with whatever the network or whatever it is. I don't know ahead of time.
She doesn't know. She doesn't do them. So
Yeah, so I'm not really
How
sure.
come
She's not the expert on
How
this.
come I haven't been approached?
I mean,
I've never been
I
approached.
don't
So
know.
I don't
Really?
It's
know.
weird. I
Alright.
totally have in my non-fake boobs. Anyway,
You're beautiful.
natural. Ew, gross.
Nazis.
Gross.
Naturalies.
Ew, gross.
Okay, so now comes. Oh God, I have so many questions and I don't want to stop. Okay, I'll move on. Oh wait. Okay, wait. Let's get to this really quick because I'm obsessed with. Not obsessed with. What's the right word for my obsession with Paris Hilton? It's more of a
If there, it's a morbid obsession. I think I would
it's
say.
the way people are obsessed with like having sex with dead bodies. It's like you know it's wrong, but you still do it. She is very interesting / not human to me. And I was watching the TMZ footage or whatever, and I saw something about Paris Hilton really quick. Have you had run-ins with her? Do you know her?
Oh yeah, I mean, I know Paris very well. When we were younger, we used to be friends.
Really?
And
Was she like a human when she was younger?
she was, you know, she was nothing like, you know, she is now. But at the time when we were friends, nobody knew who she was, you know, like at all. And I would take her to a lot of places with me, and you know, on red carpets. And she started kind of getting famous and being my friend at first. And then all of a sudden, she became huge. And I remember one night we were at a club, and she had this table, and then we were going to get the table. Well, we did get the table next to hers. And she said to me, like, she was like, you think you're big? She's like, I'm so much bigger than you. She's like, I'm the most, like, photographed girl in the world right now.
What?
I'm like, are you joking me? Like, I've always been good to you. Why would you say that to someone? You know, I just...
Ugh.
So
Had you said
after-
something to like provoke it, or out of
No.
nowhere? She was
no,
just
that's
like,
just
"Girl."
how
Tell
she
me
could
you
be.
slapped the bitch.
Yeah.
No, I was just like, are you, like I don't even think I said anything. I was just like, you're joking me. Like, and then, like, you know, I heard she said a couple bad things about me in interviews, and I'm like, how could she say that? Like, I was always honestly really nice to her. For her to go back like that, it's just, I don't know, it's wrong.
Ew.
Did you have a lot of those things where you were friends with people? Because listen, even on a small scale, on like a YouTube scale, I've had YouTube friends who like I thought were friends and they really weren't, and then like I stopped being friends with them. Like, did you have that a lot growing up in Hollywood?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of that. I mean, you have a lot of people that kind of hang on, and they like to get into the clubs. They like free bottles. They like the press. They like to be in pictures when the paparazzi are out. They like that kind of attention. And I think you kind of see through it, you know. Like, when you're at the highest, you have a million friends around you. If you go a little low, kind of people start going away to try to find the next best thing. And, you know, you realize who your friends are at the end.
Wise words. And always wear underwear. You always did, didn't you?
Still do.
Still do.
You can see my marks right here.
Yeah. All right. Now for my favorite part of the show, I'm going to come over and join you on that microphone because my phone doesn't reach that far. We're going to call my mom.
We're a little ghetto here. We do it right there on the phone.
I call my mom every show, and she has the last question of the day.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
I usually don't tell her who the guest is. I told her who you were because my mom loves you and would probably maybe have a heart attack and die if I sprung it on her. So here we go. Let me dial the number. Lauren, entertain her while I do this.
Anyway, love your
Okay.
dress. She's wearing a lovely. Is this lime green? What would we
It's
say?
kind of like a fluorescent yellow.
Okay, first of all, that's clear. I'm sorry, I need to dial. But first of all, that's clearly yellow.
It looked like
You're fucking blind.
like it looked like there was like a. I don't know. I'm not in a bad way. I'm not mad. You know what? Dial your mom.
Okay, it's calling.
Oh my god, this is so cute. I need to I'm gonna take a picture of this while they're sitting there, so you guys will see this later. They're like so cute. They're like it's like they're in a band and they're on the same
It's
mic.
like we're prank phone calling the girl at school. That bitch.
Totally. Oh my god, I hope she
We're
answers.
prank calling Paris Hilton.
Hello?
Hello?
Mom?
Yeah.
Hi, it's Tara.
Oh, my God.
By the
How
way,
are you?
Oh god, I think
Oh, my God. This is, like, so overwhelming for me.
she's crying.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Well, wait till she talks. Maybe she's not sweet.
Oh, my gosh. When Shane told me, I spent, like, most of the morning, like, crying. This is, like, ridiculous.
Oh, you're so sweet. I love you. We need to go to lunch or something.
Oh god.
I would love that.
Definitely.
Oh, my gosh, honey. I told Shane I couldn't even express to him why I'm so emotional, or I would have, like, started crying. And can I... Oh, sorry, I'm at this house and there's dogs. Can I share it, Shane, real fast?
share away.
What?
Share away, girl.
Oh, my gosh. Tara, I just have to tell you, honey, I don't know what year it was, but I'm thinking, you know, around 2000 or, I don't know, around then, and me and the boys just, whew, you know, we really struggled. And I'll never forget, Shane was so excited for us to go see Josie and the Pussycats.
You're going to make me cry too.
He was, like, out of control. And honest to God, honey, if somebody would have told me back then, when I was sitting in the theater with him, that one day I would be on the phone with you, I would have never believed it.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my
So
God.
I'm just so grateful for all that God has done for my son and for us. And I just think you're amazing.
I think you're amazing too. And so I think your son is amazing. And I love you guys back. It's amazing. You guys are just
sorry,
incredible.
Shane, I'm such a hot mess, but it's coming from a really good place.
Oh, you have such a sweetheart, and you're like really blessed, and you have a great son, and you have such a big heart. You could see it, and I love you back.
Thank you, Mom. That took a real emotional turn, y'all.
I mean, I know I'm feeling awkward.
All right, Mom. I love you so much, and I will see you soon.
Love you too.
Okay, honey.
But
Bye, sweetheart.
I'm so uncomfortable with emotion, you
Oh,
guys.
she's so sweet.
So let me really quickly.
my
let me just
God.
explain a little bit.
That was like the sweetest
I know,
person I've
she's-
ever talked
she's
to in my
very,
life.
So
sweet.
And she's so supportive, like amazing.
we grew up. I grew up. I mean, poor. I mean, like poor. And I would save up for so long to go. I don't even really talk about this, but I saved up. This is so cheesy. I saved up for so long to go see Josie and the Pussycat Dolls.
Aw.
I think I saw it like 2 months after it came out or something because I just was saving up. And it was me and my mom and my brother. And I fucking loved it. It was so awesome. And my mom afterwards surprised me and took me to Borders, I think, and got me the CD because she had saved up some money. And like we listened to the soundtrack on the way home. And, you know, and it was definitely one of the first movies that I really, really remember being like, I want to make movies one day, and I want to do comedy, and I want to make people happy, and it was a big deal. So getting you on the show is a huge deal. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so touched.
And my mom crying was pretty fucking amazing.
Amazing. I mean, I have goosebumps. I started crying too.
She loves you.
She's so sweet.
So yeah. So also, by the way, really quick, my mom taught my brother about sex by taking him to see American Pie. So thank you for that. My brother learned how to eat out a girl, I'm sure.
I was going to say, and so his sex life has been questionable ever since.
No, so the last thing, of course, I'm going to do is read a comment from you guys. Sorry, I'm going to not be emotional. I'm going to read a comment from you guys. I used to read iTunes rating comments, but now I'm going to start reading comments from my website, sdarmy.com. Don't spell that right, because you could go to a lot of weird websites with sd.com. So sdarmy.com, this one is from Shady8M. Don't know what that means. But it says, isn't Shane and Friends awesome? I know it seems like it would be really boring and long, but it's surprisingly not. So go check it out, guys. So thank you, Shady8M. If you want me to read your comment, go to sdarmy.com and leave a nice one.
And don't forget, can we tell everybody what we're doing next week
Yes,
at VidCon?
at VidCon on Saturday at 2 o'clock, we are going to be doing a live podcast with special guest Joey Gracefa.
Gracefa.
YouTube star Lohanthony. So come, you're going to meet us. You're going to be able to see the show. There's going to be another special guest.
This is
I'm not going to give it away.
Saturday, August. Wait for it.
Well, it's this Saturday, August 3rd.
Yeah, but it's August 3rd. Yeah,
August 3rd.
Saturday, August 3rd in Anaheim, 2 o'clock live podcast.
All right, you guys. I hope you had fun hanging with us.
Wait, does Tara Reid want to promote anything?
Give your shout outs. What's your Twitter?
My Twitter is at Tara Reid.
And go see Sharknado if you haven't already.
But don't tweet about it at Sharknado.
No.
And then I'm doing a show called The Big Big Show.
Ooh, what's that?
It's with Andrew Dice Clay and Tom Green.
Oh, how cool.
And it's kind of like America's Got Talent, but way crazier.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing today, the photo shoot and stuff for that.
Nice.
What is that? Is that going to be what network?
We're doing it syndicated first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then I start on Monday this other movie called To Tie the Knot.
Nice.
Who's in that? Anybody fun? Anybody good?
It's all it's all people from India. Like my character goes over to India and starts a life over there because she's trying to escape like her controlling mother there, and just wants to start over.
Oh,
So
Word of advice.
it's like more like Bollywood meets Hollywood.
Are you going to India to shoot it?
No, we're actually shooting it here.
Oh, I was gonna say bring diarrhea pills.
I was going to say I would love
It's
to.
actually in the script.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it has to be.
When she goes to buy the plane ticket, the lady's like, "Have you ever been there before?" And she's like, "No." She's like, I just have to tell you, bring a lot of toilet paper.
I could never go. I can barely keep it together in this country. Like, I would lose
If
my
you want to
mind.
hear more about Lauren's bowel movements,
I'm
check
just
out her
saying.
Twitter.
At Schnipstar.
And mine is at Shane Dawson. All right, you guys. Hope you had fun hanging with us. We had fun hanging with you, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
Yeah,
Bye.